Welcome viewers, you're with Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist on the Central Coast, New South Wales, Gosford actually. There it is. The Jehovah's Witnesses. It's an evil organisation, that's why it's regarded to be a cult. They spread theological lies and pull people in by indoctrination. They love bomb you in a malignant, pathological, serial narcissistic way, and they turn you to the organisation by this. Once you're in, they go straight to work on indoctrinating you into their beliefs that have a way of getting their hooks into you. How are you? Morning. They present their beliefs in a very exciting way, which fascinates you to find out what the answers are. But what a lot of people don't know is this doesn't always work. There are people that are introduced to the Jehovah's Witnesses who bail out very quick. They get onto things very quick. And it seems to me like the Jehovah's Witnesses prey on people that aren't too clever. They're, for the most part, relatively stupid. And the ones that aren't stupid tend to have a bend towards evil because they know what they're doing is wrong. They know the theology's wrong. They know the two-witness rule is wrong. They know all the child sexual abuse and theological abuse and psychological abuse and domestic abuse is wrong. They know that the blood policy is wrong. They know for sure that the shunning is wrong. And they know that giving the money to the organisation is wrong because they sell the kingdom halls out from underneath them. They build the kingdom halls and then they sell them out from underneath them. So their investments in the organisations are wrong. It's all wrong. Morning. And what this causes is mental health issues to boot. So we know most Jehovah's Witnesses do have very serious, malignant mental health issues that compound into psychological problems, which then has a tendency to turn them towards evil. The cognitive dissonance and distortion in trying to understand the lies and coming to terms with the fact that they are lies plays a tremendous part on the trauma in their mind. A lot of these people suffer from PTSD, compound post-traumatic stress disorder, and trauma in the mind because they're searing their conscience by forcing themselves to believe lies. They've got no conscience about sharing their lies. They go out into the streets. They're told to go out into the streets and share their lies with the public. They're not fully confident about what they're doing. They fear the public because it's very embarrassing when you're peddling propaganda, religious propaganda. They know underneath that it's wrong. How are you, mate? They know underneath that it's wrong. Any bites today? Good on you. It's the way. And when you are out on the streets in the public and you know what you're doing just isn't quite right, that brings another problem to the conscience. Because you're not sharing the message that you should, and they know it. These people aren't ignorant. They know they're spreading lies. And this burdens their conscience and troubles their mind. And this builds up in their psyche. These people are very, very troubled underneath. And this manifests behind closed doors, where there's arguments, disputes, abuse. I've heard stories of children trying to get the answer to theological questions and just being shut down and pushed down. You believe or you'll be punished. You'll be shunned. You know what happens when you get shunned? We don't speak to you anymore. You'll have nowhere to go. Jehovah won't be your friend anymore. All this they put on the shoulders of these children. It's horrible and terrible. That's why it's called a cult, because all it's ever done is bring trouble and harm, sadness and destruction to people. The whole crux of the Bible is Jesus Christ and Him crucified. They think Jesus was impaled, which they got from Dracula, the Impaler. Their blood policy, some bloke made it up in a Watchtower office one day. It just goes on and on and on. It's comical in the evil sense of the word. It's like a horror comic, and people are buying into it. It's a horror story when you consider the tens and thousands of lives that have been lost through the blood policy, which is absolutely, I don't even know how the governments aren't stepping in. It's not a religious, it cannot be founded on the Bible. That's what I don't understand. I don't know why the laws in these countries aren't coming in and saying, look guys, use accessories to the fact of murder. Blood transfusions are okay. The Bible's talking about eating blood. It's just not healthy. Although the Scottish love black pudding, that's blood, cooked blood. In the Australian Royal Commission, I do ask you to look up the Australian Royal Commission on YouTube. The governments, the judges and the counsellors tried to get through to these Jehovah's Witnesses that shunning's not something that's positive for our communities or our families, and they stuck by their manipulative tactics. You have to watch the Australian Royal Commission. You have to fully comprehend how evil this organisation is. They sold something in the vicinity of 60 Kingdom Halls in Australia over the last 5 years or so. People that could drive just down the road, now they have to drive hours to get to a Kingdom Hall. They absolutely do not consider their members. They send them out on the streets to be abused by the public, to stand there like fools, selling the propaganda or giving away the propaganda. And if you do see a Jehovah's Witness cart with jw.org on it, they have to have a permission from the council to do that, and they're not getting it. So you can complain to the council that there's people advertising businesses illegally. It's just a mess. It's just a mess of... Good on you, mate. Good on you. So it's just a web of lies and deceit. It's a hole. that people fall down into and can't get out. It's a cave where all the footsteps lead in and none lead out. The shadows of darkness hold down these people through a theological soul tie, spiritual soul tie, that causes them to feel committed and wrong if they start to think about wanting to get out. They feel like they're betraying some kind of legitimate organisation, but it's not. It's just a wicked, evil organisation, and you need to get out of there as quickly as you can. It's going to take time for you to come to terms with how badly deceived you've been, but that's part of being caught in a cult. You have to go through the rehabilitation. Some people don't rehabilitate, they never come good, they never repair, or at least it takes a long time for them to repair. But you have to start making the incremental steps out of the cult. They'll destroy you, they'll waste your money, they waste your time, they'll separate you from your family if they have to, and if you need a blood transfusion, they'll allow you to die. If that ain't enough, this is Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. If you like the video, like, share and subscribe. Bye for now.